You think your winter arc will save you, but it won't. If you need a winter arc to lock in and be productive and change your life, you were never going to do those things in the first place. And I'm not saying this to call you lazy. I'm saying this because I know exactly what you're going through. I was the person always waiting for something new for me to be able to change, whether that be a new semester, a new month, a new year, a new playlist even, or a new week. But the change never happened. The whole idea of a winter arc is just procrastination dressed up to look meaningful. But in reality, it's a delay button. It is aesthetic discipline. It feels productive to wait. It feels noble. It feels good. But waiting is the easiest thing in the world to do because you've been doing it your entire life and you've yet to accomplish the goals that you want to keep chasing after. Because let's be honest, you're not waiting for winter to get disciplined. You're waiting for winter to look disciplined. You want the hoodie in the gym pics. You want the late night grind playlist. You want the sad winter gray look across all your platforms. But when you do this, you're changing nothing and you're not growing. You want to look like someone that is changing. You want to look aesthetic, but that's not growth. And that is aesthetic procrastination. It's performing discipline instead of being disciplined and going after your goals. And look, us college students, us young adults, us young men specifically, there's a lot that is on our shoulders. There's a lot to change in each season of our lives that we move on towards. But making it some social media trend and not about genuine life change is not the plot. It's not what you're supposed to be doing. And I used to romanticize my life like that too. I would script my entire comeback in my head while falling asleep. Even cringier, I had a notion called Comeback Era with a black heart when I was 16 to talk about the steps that I was going to take in my life and like the moment the winter started to have a comeback. I'd be like, okay, when winter starts, I'm going to disappear. I'm going to go ghost and I'm going to come back and nobody's going to recognize me. But what actually happened is I was just like, oh, well, I'll start November 1st. Oh, well, it's not winter yet. I'll start December 1st. Oh, well, it's a New Year's resolution now, but oh, it's okay because it's not a big deal. It's a problem. It's delaying your life over and over again. When winter came, I would be doing the exact same stuff, scrolling, procrastinating, and telling myself that things were going to be different. I was talking big and doing nothing. And that's when it hit me. There is no discipline that magically shows up in January. Your January self will not save you. There's just you and the decisions that you make to change your life today. Not when the weather feels right, not when it's cold, not when you have an aesthetic grinding playlist going in the gym. It's now. The person who starts in September will be a completely different person by December, but the person that waits to start in December will walk into January the exact same way. Don't be this person. Start now. The seasons on this earth don't change who you are. Habits do, systems do, and mindsets do. Focus on those. And habits are built in the middle of the year when things are tough and you don't feel motivated. Life isn't aesthetic. Change is not a moment. Change is a decision you make daily to repeat certain actions. So instead of waiting for your winter arc and changing your life then, you are going to change your life now with these 3 super simple and easy strategies to take you in to 2026. The first thing you're going to do is pick one goal to focus on for the next 90 days. Not 5, not 10, just one. Because being overwhelmed is the enemy of discipline. Focus on one change at a time. You need to ask yourself, if you could make one change in your life by the end of the year, what change would be the most impactful? And whatever that change is, go after it. Some examples of this could be getting consistent in the gym, fixing your sleep schedule, or focusing on a side hustle for 1 hour a day. The goal is not results. The goal is to build proof that you can show up for yourself. Once you can prove to yourself, and more importantly your brain, that you can follow through, everything else becomes easier. Because momentum is so much more important than motivation. The winter arc in social media aesthetic is motivation. Discipline and habit change and life change comes from consistency and momentum. The second thing is 2 daily non-negotiables. This is where people get a lot of things messed up. They try to change their entire life all at once. They get overwhelmed and burn out in 3 days. I'm a victim of this too. Part of my comeback error when I was 16 years old was I made this incredibly strict minute by minute daily routine that I didn't stick to because it wasn't realistic. So what you need to do instead is pick 2 tiny habits, tiny changes to improve your life and build on each day to actually start to see some results. A couple examples of this is like a quick cleanup around your house before you go to sleep, a 20-minute walk each day, reading a page of a book, 10 push-ups. For me, it's making 1 video per day, like of the short. All of that stuff is super easy to implement and will show your brain once again that you can make change and build momentum instead of procrastinating and sitting around and doing nothing. These seem like small changes, but they are really your identity shifters. You're not building intensity, you're building identity proof. Every single day when you do your non-negotiable, your brain thinks that you no longer bail out on yourself. Because when you make a promise to yourself that you're going to wake up at a certain time in the morning, but then you don't, your brain starts to pick up on this pattern and you start to not even trust yourself anymore. So this is what we're trying to fix here. Making these 2 changes is what builds the confidence that you need to make decisions in your life beyond a social media aesthetic trend. The third thing is to cut distractions in half. This is one thing that the Winter Arc mentions that is actually useful if you take it seriously. You need to cut out distractions. That is social media and addictions and all that sort of stuff. If you can cut that out or cut it in half, you're going to see a lot of change in your life. This is not quitting social media forever. This is not throwing your phone in a lake and never touching it again. This is just cutting things in half. If you scroll for 6 hours a day, make it 3. If you scroll for 3 hours a day, make it an hour and a half. This alone will give you more time, more energy, more focus, and less time to overthink. And most importantly, less dopamine dependency. Your brain will come back to the way that it was before you became addicted to TikTok scrolling. You will feel enjoyment from the little things in life once again. And this is going to be important to once again build that momentum. The biggest lie when it comes to change is that you don't have time. But the reality is you do have time. You're just wasting it doing things that don't build the future that you want. So the 3 things about these daily shifts is not about changing your life entirely immediately. It's about building momentum and getting the momentum that you need to head into the new year focused and already locked in and ready to go, and not doing it because of some social media aesthetic trend. You're doing it because you need to see genuine change in your life and stop sitting around and doing the same things you've been doing for years. If you start now, when the Winter Arc hits, you'll already be in motion. You won't need a Winter Arc. You'll already be the person that the Winter Arc is trying to get you to become. So don't wait for the vibe, don't wait for the season, and don't wait for the mood to match your goals. Your life will change the moment that you decide that it does. So make the change. The version of you that shows up today is the version of you that walks into 2026 ready to go. And if you are ready to actually begin changing your life and taking the practical steps, not preparing to begin, but legitimately beginning, watch this video.